Here is a player board in the board game Bonfire. The aim of the game is to light bonfires, retrieve guardians, and then have the guardians standing beside the bonfires. To do that, you're going to have to build a pathway starting from the left of your player board, and you're going to need to build portals, but they start from the right. So if you build enough pathways and enough portals, they begin to overlap. Then you can move your guardian, and he starts from the left. You can move him along the pathway and then through the portal to stand beside the bonfire. Beautiful. Great job, my gnomic friend. At the end of the game, you will get points for pathways that are beside a bonfire if they match the color of the bonfire. You will get points for every portal that's beside a bonfire, and you'll get points for every guardian that's beside a bonfire. The further they travel to get there, the more points you get, and you get points for the bonfires themselves. So are you beginning to see this game is about bonfires? You get bonfires and guardians over on the main board by sailing around on your little boat. To get a bonfire, you have to first collect a task, and then you put it on your player board, and when you fulfill the task, you can flip it, and that's how you ignite a bonfire. At the start of the game, you have a guardian already on your player board. She is in your unique player color, and you can get four more, one of each color, but you have to get sailing around the main board to pick them up. To take a task, it's going to cost you 2 resources. The first resource is whatever is pictured on the island where you're taking the task from. And the second resource, you have a choice as to what you're going to pay for that. There are these 2 stacks beside your player board, these 2 stacks of tiles. You take the top tile off the top of a stack, and the resource pictured on there, that's what you're going to pay as your second resource. Then you put the tile face down on the island. It's got your player color on the back there, and that way you know that you have taken a task from that island, and you'll see why that's significant in a minute. So to get a bonfire, you need to get a task, and the task is going to cost you 2 resources. Let me tell you the other thing that you need resources for: to recruit gnomes. There are these gnome cards, and they give you advantages in the game, and they also can score you a lot of points, so you'll definitely want to be grabbing some of these. To get a gnome card, you pay 2 of the resource that is pictured on the center of the card. So you got to have the right resources to get the cards you want and the tasks that you want, but you can always trade any 2 resources for the one that you need, and the gold resource is wild. How do you get these resources? Every time you move a guardian towards one of your bonfires, you get the resource that's pictured on the pathway where the guardian finishes his move. So yes, I'm telling you that you need to find pathways that match the color of your bonfire, but also have the picture of the resource you're going to need for the tasks and gnomes you want. This is a Stefan Feld game. It's got more interlocking cogs than a Swiss clock. Okay, it's time to talk about the actions that you can do on your turn. To take an action, you're gonna need to have the action tile to spend, and all of the actions can be boosted by spending more tiles. The pathway tile lets you take a pathway from the main board, and then as you get further along, this action starts to cost 2 tiles. The guardian action tile moves all of your guardians 1 space, but you can boost that to more spaces. You can't have 2 guardians on the same tile, and remember, you get the resource where they finish their move, but the guardian has to have moved in order for you to get a resource. Unlike any of the other action tiles, there's an alternative use for the guardian action tile, which is whenever you want to take a guardian from one of the islands, you got to spend a guardian action tile to do that. To take a task from an island, you have to spend the task tile. And if you want to take a task from an island and you've already taken a task from that island on a previous turn, then you're going to have to pay more task tiles to do that. The ship action is a bit special because after you move your ship, you get to do another action on that same turn. You can either take a guardian or a task wherever you move your boat to. So you get to combine the two actions on the one turn, which means the turn is a lot more interesting. It's some good game design right there. Another action is to recruit a gnome card. You can boost this action if you pay 2 tiles, then you only have to pay one of the resources depicted on the card instead of 2. Finally, there is the Great Bonfire action. This is how you get portals. You're trying to move this wheel to get the exact portal that you need to match the next pattern on the next slot on your player board. You're not allowed to skip, so you have to move along and get the exact right one. This action is not just about portals, though. You get to pick any 2 out of the 3 options on that spot. So you could just go for an action tile and a resource. And the action tiles that have the question mark on them, they are wild, so you can use them to do whatever action you want. Now on your turn, you have a limited selection of action tiles to work with, but you're going to have to use all of these up before you can get some more. Only when you're down to your last tile may you take a fate tile. You have to choose one from the ends here, and then you add it to your fate area. This will get you more tiles. You get the 3 pictured on the fate tile, but also if you make groups with where you place it, then you get more action tiles, and you can end up getting quite a lot of a particular action tile that you want. Like with the resources, you can trade any 2 action tiles for whatever you need. So you could just spend like lots of tiles and do whatever actions you want, but then you would run out of fate tiles and that would end the game for you. And you get 3 points at the end of the game for every unused fate tile. So you really want to try and coordinate your actions so you're not burning through these tiles too quickly. Okay, so we're almost done. On your turn, you can do one of these 3 things. The third option, ignite a bonfire, is when you flip the task tile over after you've fulfilled it. The blue tasks are easier to fulfill, but score less. And then there's the red, and then the yellow are the hardest, but they can score you up to 8 points, which is a lot. You have to use a turn to flip the task and ignite the bonfire. And the timing that you do that matters, because when you ignite a bonfire, you get to do one of these special actions that are on the main board. And these are really very nice. What you do is you take every bonfire's got a little novice beside him, and you take one of your novices and you put him in the high council beside the special action that you want to do. He stays there the whole game, and you're not allowed to use that special action the next time you light a bonfire. You have to go somewhere else. So when you light a bonfire, you're rewarded with one of these special actions. There are 2 more things about scoring that I need to mention, but before I do that, if you are digging this rules video, then do let me know. Just give the video a thumbs up. Right, the first scoring thing is the Elder cards. There are 6 of these gnome cards, and it's the same 6 every game. They give you points for portals, for guardians, for how many pathways you have, and so on. There's no point taking one at the start because you won't have many portals or pathways. But so you want to leave it to as late as possible, but of course another player might pick one up before you get there. The second thing is on the main board, there are these common goals. They are very similar to the Elder Gnome cards. They reward you. The goals are about getting portals or getting pathways or getting a certain number of guardians. And the difference here is though that these score at the end of the game, and everybody that reaches the goal is going to get the points. But if you reach that goal during the game, then you may, if you wish, get to take one of those special actions in the High Council. There's a neutral gnome above each goal, common goal, and you get to pick him up and put him in the High Council and take the special action. You could even end up taking the same special action that you did before with the novice of your own color. So that is really very nice. And why wouldn't you do that when you reach the common goal? Well, because uh, putting novices into the High Council, that is the game clock, and whenever it fills up, it's going to trigger the end of the game. Now, if it's you leading a game of Bonfire, then I think that's enough to give you the gist of how the game plays, but you're going to need to look through the rulebook for the details. If someone else is bringing the game, then I think you're about ready to play. If you found this video helpful, then do let me know. Like the video or subscribe to the channel. This is Unfussy Board Games. I'm Terry O'Neill. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.